Hello and welcome to my new video. It's gonna be amazing. Oh, I'm excited. I've just done a little poo on the floor. No, I haven't really. So what's this video about? Well, I don't know. Oh no, I do know. Some time ago I did a video about making interesting beats that change. So since making that, I've discovered some new things in a similar sort of territory, which I thought I'd share with you today. And they would sit very nicely in maybe your glitch or IDM productions. And I know there's going to be people out there who are going to go, oh, IDM, oh, it's just such a terrible, detrimental name for a genre, and like, oh, it's just the worst way to like describe like a piece of music. Yeah, I know what you mean, right? I know, I get it, right? I'm 35. I've been doing this for 20 years, and like, I know it's a stupid term, but the thing is, I need to use that term because I need to reach out to the right kind of people in order to, you know, make this video have any sense. And even though you're probably there going, oh God, I hate that term. Oh, it's just like, you know exactly what I mean, and you're going to understand where I'm coming from. And chances are you're probably interested and you're going to like it. So, like, wind your neck in and have a beer. I'm just going to have one. It's got one of these pull tops. Oh, they're quite difficult to serve without spilling it everywhere. So yeah, basically beats that change a lot. And in the last one, I made it macro selectable, but this time we're going to bring in some chants. I've made this drum break. We're at 120 BPM, I think, aren't we? Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to first create a custom slicing preset, which I think I might have already done, but I'll do it again to show you, to remind you. And we're going to use sampler. You will need sampler. It's the best. If you haven't got it, it's the best one. So I'm just going to set a few defaults here. I just want the volume to be on 0, everything kind of turned off really. And then I'm going to go into, I'm going to call it custom sampler slice. And I'm going to put it in, I'm going to go to user library. And I tell you what, I'll just make everything a little bit bigger. There we go. So, right, user library, defaults, slicing. You can see I've already kind of put a few in there already. And then I'm just going to drop that in there. In it goes. And then it's going to ask me to give it a name. And I'm going to do that. And it's there. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that now. And now let's go back into this. Let's have a look. Let's just have a look at it. So we've got transients here. Oh, we've got one there as well. I don't think I want that one. I think maybe I want that one there is... Okay, so we've got transients. I want these transients. Okay. I don't know if... I don't think I need... No, I don't need those. Okay. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slice that. Slice the new MIDI track. And then my custom sampler slicing preset is there, ready to go. I don't need transients. I want the transients. Okay. What have we got? Oh, it didn't do the first one. Oh, no. That is a fail. Okay, so I need to... put one here and then try again. Sorry about that, YouTube. You're so patient. You're so patient with me. Okay, cool. All right. I'll just close that for a minute. So Okay, now we've got our slice. Cool. I'm just going to quantize all of those buggers. It's a little choppy now. What can we do about that? Maybe I'll pitch it down just a fraction. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put that into an instrument. Just need to drink some beer. Hang on. I'm going to put that into an instrument rack, where from there I'm going to create multiple instances of it and change the way that the overall slices are being played back, which is similar to what I did in the last video, but it's going to be better this time, better. So, okay, so I'm just going to name this one Normal. Actually, I'm going to call it Norman. Okay, Norman's there. Okay, Norman is happy, and now I'm going to duplicate Norman, and I'm going to solo, and I'm just going to call this one Reverse. And I'm just going to very simply just hit reverse. Now they're all reversed. That's good. So I'll give that one a different color, I think. Blue. Okay, we're going to duplicate Norman again. What have I done there? Twisting. Oh, okay, and this one I'm going to call Loop. And so these ones, they're all going to loop. They're all going to go, you know, that kind of stuff. So how do we do that? Well, there's a little trick. We can go into the AUX envelope here. I'm going to set all these to 0, set this to 0, all these to 0, 0. And then I'm going to set these to 5, peak to 5, sustain to 5, end to 5. I don't think I need to worry about that one. Just these three here, 5, and then loop length. Okay, set that to loop length, and I'm going to set the loop length amount. Let's try 100. See what we get. Fucking nothing. Oh yeah, that's because I need to select all of the. Make sure you've got the right chain. That's important. Let's go for green here. Okay, yeah. So I need to select all the slices, and I need to choose this looping option here. Forward. That's forward. Yeah, that should work now. Oh, that is. Oh. It's kind of hideous. So I'm going to bring in a little bit of envelope here. Okay, that's cool. I set the voices to 1 because I only want really one at a time, and it sort of saves on the RAM, you see. It was RAM. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate that. This one is going to be loop. Hang on. Loop. Echo. And whoops. Echo. And this one I'm going to put a little bit of release on. Actually, quite a lot. Let's go for a second. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because I want the loops to kind of ring out, ring free, have some life rather than just. So I'm going to set the voices to maybe 3. And then if I just bring the tempo down, you can have a listen to that. Well, that kind of works. Oh yeah, so it's basically, you know, it's sort of like a kind of like an echo, like a very tight delay sound, but it's not. It's a loop. I'm going to play around with a little bit more with the envelope here. Okay, that's cool. So, what else could we do? Let's just keep going. Maybe we could let's duplicate the loop again, and we'll call this one. Let's call this one loop pitch. Pitch. I can't see the keyboard because the mic's in the way. And this one will play around with the pitch. Let's use this LFO, and we'll maybe use, where is it? Pitch, here we go. Use a sample and hold LFO with a very low frequency with retrig on, so that basically we get a new value every time a MIDI note is, because these are all separate MIDI notes being played by this loop that's kind of been sliced. So it's a loop. You kind of think of it as like they're loops. It's the event is a loop, and each transient is going to trigger a new event in time and space, man. Okay, that's cool. Let's duplicate that one, and I'm going to call this one. I'm going to call this one loop pitch echo, and I'm just going to do the same thing that I did to the other one. Just give it a little bit of like release. Let's round it under 2 seconds, and I'll give it like 3 voices. Okay, that's cool. And I'll do that again. I'll do that again with that one. So it starts to get quite addictive. I'm sort of getting a little bit. Okay, I'm going to call this one pitch wob, because wob is cool. And this one, I'm not going to use a sample and hold LFO. I'm going to use a there we go. Okay, and now I'm going to use LFO 3 to modulate the rate of LFO 2. Let's see what we get. So let's turn this all down here. It's kind of working. Is that working? LFO 2 rate. Okay, yeah, that's kind of working. Okay, now I'm going to duplicate that one. I'm going to call that... why can't I see? I can't see them. I'm going to call that one wob echo. And I'm going to do the same thing there. I'm going to apply a little bit of release. 3 voices. That's cool. Sounds a little bit silly, but yeah. Have you never watched any of my videos before? I opened a new beer, but I had one that was half full. Far. Okay, well, I'll do. Yeah. Good. Okay, it's going well. All right, so let's go back to Norman. Hi, Norman. I'm going to duplicate Norman, and let's rename him Mod. And for this one, I'm going to apply some cool stuff I was playing with this stuff, which is kind of like a sort of frequency. It's kind of like a frequency modulation. I'd love to know. I think that's amplitude modulation, isn't it? So FM, AM, yeah. So we've kind of got like a little FM synth engine going on in here that we can play around with. So I got that one soloed. I'm going to nice pink, sort of pink. And if I turn this up, let's have a look at this. Here we got some like ring mod stuff going on there. Okay, that's cool. So let's maybe see if we can use the LFOs to screw around with that. What have we got here? Pitch oscillator only. Let's try that one. See what that does. Yeah, sort of funky ring modulator thing. It's fun. Oh, that one was a bit nasty. So that's definitely frequency. It's ultra fast. Okay, so why don't we like do a little compromise here? Let's have mod FM, and then let's have mod AM. And so we'll have one. Yeah, we'll have one. Whoops, we'll have one for. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Yeah, let's see what this one's like. Oh, that one's horrible. We've got different types of oscillators that we can use to modulate. Let's try and... Wow, that one's cool. Ugh, I like that one. Okay, all right, we'll keep those. So, how long have we been going? 15 minutes. It's going to be a long one, guys. And girls, obviously. So let's... maybe for this one, let's do Norman. Hello, Norman. Let's just call this one Gate, and I'm just gonna do a simple volume LFO thing. Volume. That's cool. All right. So what was the other thing I wanted to do? Yeah. Okay. I wanted to. Where's the loop? Okay, loop. I want loop. Yeah, so some time ago I did like a kind of thing about making sort of reverby, spacey textures, grain clouds using samples, and I've been fooling around with that to kind of use them as sort of like not like a dub echo, but like the way that you can just sort of send a sound off into space, normally using like a reverb or a delay or something. Well, I've been getting really into actually doing it with the sound itself and giving the impression that that there's it's got sort of a dusty space to it. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So let's listen to loop again. Let's duplicate loop. Let's call it cloud. Let's call it iCloud. Right. So okay. iCloud. So how did I do that before? Yeah, so what we need to do is kind of my keyboard would be quite useful right now. Let's just turn it on. There's crap everywhere. Jesus Christ, all this fucking shit. Okay. Do we have MIDI? Is MIDI? Come in, MIDI. MIDI, come in. Okay, I'll worry about that later. So, what was I going to do? I was going to make a cloud. To do that, yeah, I remember. So, we've got these all looped. We can... Let's give it a little bit of sustain. It's quite a lot of release here. Let's give it like maybe 3 seconds. 3 seconds. And use a super fast sample and hold LFO. We can keep re-trigger on, I think. And then we assign that to the loop start. And this won't really work right now unless I turn the tempo right down. There we go. There it is. Oh, I love it. So good. It's horrid. There might be a way that we could put a bit of crossfade onto these guys. Let's see what we can do here. Crossfade, yeah. Oh, a lot of crossfade. Yeah. Yeah, it just gives that real sort of really close, nasty, sort of cloudy. I love it. Okay, that's cool. So I'm going to duplicate that again. And I'm going to call this one iCloud pitch. And I'm going to put a little bit of pitch on this one. Using this one, sample and hold LFO again, I think. On the pitch. Let's see what they say. Yeah. Oh! Yeah, it's cool. Right, so how many have we got now? We've got quite a few. Oh, I mean, there's just so many different things. Filter, let's do like a filtery thing. Let's duplicate Norman. Let's call it filter. Let's call it filter. We'll just do one filter because I don't want to keep you here all night. You'll be bored to death. Let's go back to 120. Okay, we'll go into our filter, turn our filter on. Take advantage of some of these interesting new filter options. I personally can't tell the difference other than they just sound more harsh. So like really harsh filters is cool, is it? I don't know. I'm a bit ignorant with filters. Okay, let's put this envelope on. Oh! That'll do. Oh, I've just remembered something else I wanted to do was this sort of kind of a sort of time stretch reverb echo thing. So we'll duplicate the loop and we'll call it time. Oh, I'll just call it stretch. We'll call it Stretch Armstrong. There we go. And all right, we're back here. So we want some release. Oh, we need some more voices here. Ah, I didn't put the, I didn't change the voices on the cloud. iCloud, 3 voices for you. 3 voices for you. Where are we? Stretch Armstrong. You can be this sort of skin tone. Well, actually, could be other skin tones. That one. Yeah, well, there's lots of skins, aren't there? Right, what was I saying? We need loop start and okay. So if I slow this down, you can listen to what that's doing. Pretty ugly. Okay, so, all right, I think we're done with all of that crap now. So let's get to the interesting bit, which is how we're going to play them back. We're going to play them back using our friend the Velocity plugin. And then what I'm going to do is, let's set Norman to... Lilac. Right, so I'm going to set Norman here to have a velocity range of 0 to 64. And all the others I'm going to sort of put here like this. And then I'm going to right click and I'm going to go distribute ranges equally. And then these are kind of going to be the random playback events, and Norman is just going to play the sound normally. And using the Velocity plugin, we can sort of randomize new velocities that come in order to select different playbacks. So right now it's only on 1. I think a couple of things that are important here is to set the operation to velocity, set this to fixed, set the high output to 64, so it's kind of in the middle. And then we'll turn this random up. Okay, ready? let's go into ultra spaz, shall we? Let's go up to 175. And let's just jump into Norman. Where are we? Let's go up 3 semitones and let's copy all valued siblings. See how that sounds. The beat repeater I've just chucked in just to repeat beats. Another thing I've sort of been doing is trying to skip notes because, you know, sometimes I would maybe like some notes to last a little bit longer than the MIDI clip has kind of told me. So we're kind of restricted. We're not restricted, but I'm just keeping within this realm of the MIDI coming from the MIDI clip that's generated when you slice the beat. But you can put a little bit of variation in there. And another way, one way I like to do that, which I was trying the other day, is to bring in another MIDI effect rack, create a chain here, and I'll just back off some of the velocity here to something like 16, and then I'll basically make a copy of this. So what happens is that every once in a while, some random velocity will get generated somewhere under 16, which means we won't get any MIDI at all, or rather we'll get the MIDI from the note that was just hit, which will add a little bit of time, just to add a little bit of variation, dimension to the groove, you know? Okay, so it's kind of ridiculous. So I'm actually going to come back down to -1 and come back down to 120 because I'm old. I'm old now. Okay, so the other thing that's kind of cool is that all this MIDI is being generated. We can record it all into a new MIDI track so that we can capture things that we like and use them for our projects. So I've created a new MIDI track and I've selected the MIDI to come from 1.4-audio 1, which is where my slice is. And I'll set this like this and turn that. I don't need you anymore. And let's just record a little bit, see what happens. I'll drink a beer. Okay, I've done that. So let's keep that for now. So we've got a nice new MIDI clip here of, you know, loops, but also all this different velocity. Now we can basically use the velocity now to choose in the sequencer realm what event we want to happen, which is kind of cool. So let's put this here. Let's put you back in here, and we won't need all these gubbins now, so I'm going to turn them all off because we're actually going to be using the velocity from the clip itself. So if I loop that bit, you know, it'll play the same thing over and over again. So this is cool. This means that we can go in and, you know, fool around and find,
you know, if it's done something that we don't like, we do this little blue thing on here. And if I say go into, let's make you a little bit bigger. If I go into like this one here, change this, I can change the velocity here. I can find one that I want and make it commit. So that's kind of cool. I think some of these like reverby ones are a little loud, so it was a good thing I named them because I want to turn them down. So we'll go into the envelope here and I'll just bring these down a little bit. Some of these ones. What have we got here? Loop echo. The cloud is okay. I want that to be quite loud. The cloud. Let's bring these ones down a little bit as well. What other ones have we got? Pitch echo. It's better when the echoes are a bit more subtle, I think. You have to listen harder. The stretch Armstrong, he's too loud. Well, I guess that kind of covers everything, really. I hope that was useful, and I will now put this onto Patreon, where you can go and pledge and download it, and download a load of other stuff I've done. Your support would be greatly received, and you will be rewarded, and I'm just crying myself to sleep with joy every time that someone comes and gets involved with it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. 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 Okay. Yeah. Yeah.